we move on to our second presentation, and one I'm looking forward to, as we hear from Jodi O'Donnell Ames, the founder of Hope Loves Company, on supporting the young caregiver.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jodi O'Donnell Ames, and I'm the founder of Hope Loves Company. And I'm excited to introduce Cara, who is our executive director. Cara?
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Jodi. As Jodi shared, I'm the executive director of Hope Loves Company, and we're grateful to be here this morning to share our presentation on ways that we can support young caregivers affected by ALS. And we also want to share that we recognize that this is a short presentation, and we welcome the opportunity to answer any questions and connect after the fact. So just wanted to make everyone aware of that. Thank you.
Thank you, Cara. We're so excited to be here to tell you about the ways that we've created to support young caregivers, and however we can be of help, we'd like to be a part of that program of yours as well. So Hope Loves Company was founded in 2012 out of necessity. My introduction to ALS came in 1995 when my late husband, Kevin O'Donnell, was diagnosed at the age of 30. We had a 2-year-old at home, and sadly, after 6 years, Kevin passed away in 2001. A few years later, I remarried. Through this book, What Did You Learn Today? I met my current husband, Warren Benton Ames, and his wife, Tina Singer Ames, wrote What Did You Learn Today for her children, Nora and Adam. She also passed away from ALS, and we became a family, and I was raising 3 children who all lost a parent to ALS because of ALS in, before they turned 11 years old. So the idea of how to support them came to mind, and that was really the impetus for Hope Loves Company. So at Hope Loves Company, we are the only nonprofit in the United States with the mission of providing educational and emotional support to children and young adults who either have had or currently have someone battling ALS.
So what are some of the challenges faced by young caregivers to ALS? They're going to school for 8 hours, coming home, doing homework, and then caring for a loved one battling ALS. They may experience the loss of friendships or social life because they are responsible for caregiving at home. They may not have time to practice self-care. They are adapting to changes. As you know, ALS comes with many changes in the household, and many children and young adults experience what's called anticipatory grief. So as new changes come into the home, as new people come in to help care, as the house may be renovated to adapt to changes, and as their parent or loved one battling ALS may experience different changes. They also may have feelings of isolation, fear, worry, depression, anxiety, and grief. And they may be nervous about the financial instability and loss of opportunities as a result of time and money. And so that's why it's important for Hope Loves Company to provide all of our programs at no cost.
Yeah, and with that in mind, we thoughtfully have created programs that will help address these issues that make children feel isolated, alone, and perhaps different than their peers. So our goal is to provide activities that diminish these feelings of isolation, that encourage relationships with other children who understand and other families as well, to bring awareness to coping skills and how those skills may help children who are feeling anticipatory grief, depression, anxiety, and worry, to provide fun memories for our families who attend our programs, and just to continue with educational resources and tools. These are paramount.
And so the programs that we've developed at Hope Loves Company include our premier program, Camp HLC, which is a weekend retreat where campers and their families come together to meet others who share in their experiences, to have fun, to develop healthy coping skills, and to be able to share their feelings and their experiences in a safe and inclusive environment. This year, out of a need caused by COVID, we did go virtual with Camp HLC. We hosted 6 virtual camps this season, just had our last camp last weekend. Every camper got a care package in the mail, which included everything they needed for a fun and active camp weekend, including their t-shirt, tie-dye kit, s'mores kit, books, and other fun treats. In addition to that, we send Hug of Hope care packages out. We've sent them internationally as well and welcome the opportunity to do that again. But those include a t-shirt, a children's book or caregiver guide, a snack, a note of encouragement from our team, and more. We also send children's books, as well as a book that Jodi offered called Someone I Love Has ALS, a caregiver guide. We also have The Stars That Shine, and as Jodi shared before, What Did You Learn Today? 2 children's books that help gently introduce young children to ALS. We also are happy to provide speaking and writing opportunities for children and young adults affected by ALS. So if they can write something for our blog or our website or social media, they can speak about Hope Loves Company or ALS in their schools and communities. And again, due to the need caused by COVID, we have developed several virtual programs, including group shares, which we do at Camp HLC and now do once a month for 3 different age groups, our 10 to 12-year-olds, our teens and young adults, and our parents and adults affected by ALS. So we do those on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd Wednesday of the month at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. And they're facilitated by counselors or social workers. We also had our first ever teen retreat in 2018 in New Jersey. And the focus of that weekend was wellness and healthy coping skills. We also have a Young Ambassador program, which is a leadership and advocacy program for teens and young adults between 14 and 22 years of age. And last fall, we had our first ever educational conference called the HLC Kids Count Conference, where we brought together educators, organizations dedicated to supporting families affected by ALS, families, of course, affected by ALS, to share more about ALS, more about children caregivers, and how we can support them. We also have the Susan B. Anderson Scholarship, which is a national scholarship, which is actually available right now to any student pursuing a 2 or 4 year degree or a trade school program. So that application actually closes December 2nd, and that's available to any student who meets those requirements and whose life has been affected by ALS. And we absolutely welcome the opportunity to work with other organizations to bring these programs to families affected by ALS across the US and beyond. And these are just some photos from different programs. So we've got some virtual Camp HLC photos, we've got Hug of Hope care package recipients, and in-person Camp HLC.
We thank you so much for this opportunity. We welcome the opportunity also to work together with you. We want you to think about how your organization is supporting young caregivers and also how Hope Loves Company can be of help. Thank you so very much for this time, and we welcome questions.
Yes, absolutely. And moving forward, as shared before, we welcome the opportunity to work with different organizations to collaborate and bring these programs to families affected by ALS across the globe. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jodi and Cara. What a terrific presentation. I certainly know as director at the M&D Association that this forms an emerging and an important part of the work we do, and I would love to speak to you more on this. Some lovely comments in the chat. My favourite so far of the day, Hope Loves Company is amazing. It's pretty good. There was another question I saw, which was, does the Social Security cover some costs of the equipment needed by patients? Cara, would you like to answer that one?
So all of our programs are provided at no cost to families affected by ALS. We also have a small travel stipend available to help families fly or Uber or whatever it is to Camp HLC and to our other programs.
Thank you. And maybe could you just give us a bit more of your experience around moving over to the virtual platform in this current climate that we're living in?
Yeah, absolutely. We were a little apprehensive at first, of course, about how we could bring the magic of Camp HLC to a virtual platform. We did everything by Zoom, and everyone got a care package in the mail just filled with all the supplies they needed for the camp weekend. And it took place on Friday evening, Saturday, and Sunday afternoon. And it was really very successful, and that's largely due to the families that we serve just being wonderful, amazing people. But yeah, we did everything by Zoom. We used breakout rooms to host programs for our 3 age groups. We didn't have any technical issues, though we did have a budget set aside if any families didn't have the means to access camp virtually, so if they needed equipment. But fortunately, we didn't run into that issue.
Thank you. Jodi, I didn't know whether you wanted to say anything.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm sorry, for some reason, my face is not being centered on the screen, so I'm a little bit confused. But so we have a question in the chat regarding, I believe, how you approach the death of a patient for a young caregiver. So we at Hope Loves Company are not psychologists. However, we believe that having open communications with your children and giving them information that is appropriate for their age level as well as their level of understanding is the best way to approach that, and also to begin the conversation with books such as our 2 books, and there are many others as well that can help bring understanding at a very primary level to what's taking place in someone's body who has ALS, and how that child can still engage and have a relationship, a positive relationship with the person who's living with ALS.
Talking of books, there's a question. Do you use the books and programs of Melinda Kavanagh in the Netherlands? We do. I'm sure you know the name.
We do know Melinda very well, and she actually has been to one of our camps. So we have communicated with her. We don't have, I know we have books from the ALS Association that Melinda helped to create. So we do have those on hand.
And then just probably one more. Do you have a program for the parents?
We do. We actually do what we call meet and greets. They had been once a month on Friday evening, and in the winter and the new year, we're actually switching to the 3rd Wednesday of the month for our parent and adult sessions. It's like a peer support group. It's informal. We usually have a social worker or a counselor, as well as our staff on the line, and it's just an opportunity to connect and share resources and have fun. And those are available on our website.
I would like to add to that that all of our programs are open to the entire family, and everything is free of charge. So typically, adults don't understand the fact that our programs, even though they're child oriented, that the entire family and people even who are battling ALS have attended Camp HLC and have gone camping with us. So all of our programs invite the entire family.
Brilliant. Thank you. Keep doing what you're doing. There's lots of kudos for the work you're doing. It sounds brilliant. And Kathy just said you're doing a program with Anna Kent from the UK at the end of the Allied Professional Forum on Friday morning. So another chance to speak about this topic then. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.